You are literally a dumb person.
I don't do.
You are not capable of.
You are even. You're not even a man. They're immature. Let me just tell you. We're trying so hard. We're talking about another thing. He's talking about him trying to tell you. I said, I have heard you now. I don't have. It's okay. I've heard you. He still kept on trying to pass his point. I don't hear you.
Guys, I don't know if it's just me, right? But when I see a gang up happening in Biggie's house, when I see where a group of housemates are ganging up against a particular housemate because of that housemate's personality, guys, I pick offense on that. I get really angry. Yes, and I begin to wish that I was in the shoes of that housemate. I begin to wish that I was actually that housemate so that I can put those people in their place. I mean, thankfully, there's no such thing as physical violence in that house. So we're not going to fight physically. But you see, this is my mouth. I will make sure that I use my mouth, I use my brain, I use my senses, I use intelligence to shut them up and put them in their place. Last, nomination will come, they'll nominate me. Who go. Who will not go home will not go home, and that's on period. I mean, the gang up I saw in Biggie's house in the early hours of this morning, after the pool party, guys, it was so disgusting. It was so disgusting. From Bryann, from Modella, from Daniela, ganging up against Amaka like that, all because, yeah, they know that Amaka is one person that when she speaks, her voice is very, very loud. Guys, I mean, what gave them the audacity to think that they can actually dictate to Amaka on how she should feel, what she feels? What makes them feel like they are actually the perfect humans? I mean, I was looking at these dysfunctional individuals. I was looking at them like, you people actually really think that you're actually more reasonable. You actually think they're even more sensible. I mean, guys, even Daniela, I was looking at Daniela for the first time, maybe not really the first time to be very honest, but I was looking at Daniela, I'm thinking, wow, so this girl, you've got this side to you. Wow. And then Bryann, I was looking at Bryann, I'm like, wow, I've always known this guy on this show to be a coward. I've always known him to be petty. But for him to be so, guys, even when he tries to sound smart, when he speaks, come on.
If I want to be that person, that will make this girl go and cry. I know what to fucking say.
Guys, it was disgusting. And then listening to Modella speak, come on, a pot calling a kettle black. Oh, Amaka never accepts her fault for whatever wrong she does. But you are the one that's not really accepting your fault for your own wrongs as well. Oh, Amaka is always shouting. Oh, but your voice is loud. Your voice sounds like a very, very annoying screech of tires on the ground. What makes them all think that they're actually more perfect than Amaka? Guys, I hate bullying. And that was exactly the scenario I saw between Amaka and these three people that I've actually mentioned. It was so disgusting to watch. It was so annoying. By the time I was done watching all of their arguments, their altercation, guys, I was drained. Woof! I'm stressed. Okay, you know what? Let me just officially welcome all of you back to my YouTube channel. You especially welcome back. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory, and I am the girl with the tea. And the tea of this video is all about the crazy, insane altercation that ensued between Daniela, Bryann, and Modella against Amaka, guys. It was, in my opinion, it literally felt like a gang up. Yes, and I'll tell you why. All right, so I'm going to be giving you guys all the details of that particular episode. All right, so please make sure you watch to the end of this video because there's a lot. There's actually a lot to disclose. Okay, now aside that, guys, quick announcement. You know what happens tomorrow on this channel? Tomorrow is Saturday, so we're going to be having our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream on here. It happens every Saturday by 3 p.m. WAT. Guys, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to talk about. So please make sure you come through. Do not miss out. Don't forget, and feel free to invite other people if you care to. All right. Now, all of that out of the way, let's quickly get into this gist. Hey, so this was how it all started. After the pool party last night, The housemates were pretty much excited. They were all in high spirits, and I mean so both literally as well. They were in really high spirits. Some of them were quite tipsy, some of them were drunk, and so those ones that were actually drunk, they had gone to bed early. Then on the flip side, there were other ones who were not really tipsy, so they had engaged in a conversation with Shegs and Bella.
What I have a problem with you, and I don't like you, is when I genuinely think you're doing it, you're like,
yeah, I'm not doing genuinely.
what? You know what I'm saying? Bro,
And he's so blunt and honest.
This is who you are.
Yes, I mentioned Shegs and Bella specifically because they were the ones, you know, anchoring that conversation. And we know that whichever conversation that Shegs anchors, it becomes all about him. So initially they were talking about, oh, people that each and every one of them would like to win or prefer to win. And, you know, they were talking one after the other. And at some point, it felt as though there was some sort of gang up against Doe. It came off as such. Now, aside that particular conversation, as usual, any conversation that involved Shegs and Bella, Shegs would always look for a way around that conversation to plant himself and Bella at the center of it all. And that was exactly what he was doing. He was even going as far as talking about housemates whom he felt, you know, were fake and real. And guys, to be very honest, at that point in time, my brain was already bursting because I was already screaming in my head that, gosh, why are these housemates so gullible? Why are they so myopic? Why can't they see that this dude is literally judging all of them?
You don't get that phone that they're crying like, he was trying to hide. Toilet.
I saw him.
He couldn't hold it. And that day I was like, this guy, exactly who he's forming to be, is exactly who he is.
Now, whilst I was thinking that, guys, these housemates were just, it was looking like they were actually worshipping this guy, because once again, he was kind of, you know, subtly bringing in his story of affluence, right? Oh, when we leave this house, then we are all going to know who we are, and then you all are going to know that, oh, I have been real all along. Guys, to be very honest, it was a very, very disgusting moment to witness. I was very, very livid because I just felt like, okay, fine. Here we go again. Shegs is working his magic on these level 2 housemates. I mean, the likes of Doing already knows that that is how Shegs speaks, and from time to time she would interject and try to interrupt him as well.
So, how do you tell that someone is rude just because they cry?
When you think I cried, why did nobody say no, Doing?
But then Bella would always be chipping in. Oh yes, he's very real. He's very blunt. He's very this. So guys, to cut the long story short, that scene was very, very irritating. And so they had moved on with the conversation, you know, still on realness and people that are not real, people that are looking for highlighting the house. And that was when Amaka had spoken up to contribute to the conversation. So from her own angle, she was explaining that, well, that she feels like some people, you know, just react unnecessarily. Some people just shout unnecessarily. Some people just get really dramatic unnecessarily, or get into arguments or altercations unnecessarily to create highlights. Now, that was her own perspective. And of course, she was explaining that. And then before we knew it, Daniela, or rather Modella, who was lying in bed, you know, behind her, just cut into the conversation and started, you know, going at Amaka. Now, we know that when Modella is speaking, she has a very, very high-pitched, screechy voice. So it comes across as though she's shouting, even though she does not intend to shout. So she was now countering Amaka's point and explaining that, oh, that this thing Amaka is saying, Amaka is guilty as charged. That Amaka is one of those people that she takes things unnecessarily, that she argues unnecessarily, that everything she does, it comes off as if Amaka is looking for highlights. Now, guys, we know that that is very offensive, because for a fellow housemate to describe another housemate's feelings like that, number one, it's like you're invalidating how they feel. Number two, you are invalidating their reactions. You're making it seem as though they have no right whatsoever to feel the way they feel, you know, in the midst of chaos. And so Amaka picked offense on that, you know, which was quite natural. She picked offense on that, and then she was countering back Modella that, no, you cannot say that because we're all different. This is who I am, this is who I am. And then Modella brought up the, you know, wardrobe issue the other time when the housemates had, you know, the cultural outfits day during the Saturday night party. I think it was week 3. I mean, if you all recall that particular day, yes, it was a case of miscommunication and a case of pent-up emotion. Modella had been giving weird vibes to Amaka before, and then when it came to a very, very minute issue, oh, please remove your clothes from my suitcase or from my box, you know, Amaka had gotten really upset. So Amaka was trying to explain to her that, no, this is exactly what happened. But Modella was trying to overshadow Amaka's own own reason, trying to make it look as though her own narrative was actually the ultimate narrative. So at that moment, Amaka felt attacked, and then she was putting in so much effort and energy into trying to rewrite Modela's narrative, which was not working because both of them, their voices are very loud. Modela's voice is very loud. Amaka's voice is very loud as well. Now, while both of them kept on going back and forth, it was like an argument, but insults were not involved. But both of them were just speaking over each other. Thankfully, at that point in time, Shegs realized that the attention was no longer on him. So he crawled into bed beside Bella and he started dozing off, right? Now, these two people kept on going at each other, but whilst they were going at each other, Bryann and Daniela, they were making a mockery of Amaka's feelings. That was what it was, guys. No caps about it. I mean, the moment Amaka will say something to counter Modela's perception about her, Bryann will make a very, very funny and derogatory statement, and Daniela will start laughing.
If I want to think about your business, I'm about to tell you something. You can't tell me now.
Guys, you see that thing Bryann and Daniela were doing? I dislike it. For me, that is another form of bullying. And so, whilst Daniela especially was laughing so hard, and Amaka was speaking offense, Amaka was telling them, you people should stop laughing. Daniela, I don't like it. Stop laughing. I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not laughing at you. Guys, I was getting really offended. Yes, on Amaka's behalf, I was getting offended because we all know that Daniela has a stuttering issue. And Amaka has never for one day used that to insult Daniela. So I felt like, girl, you're not perfect. You have your own imperfections. Amaka has caught you on several occasions smashing and knocking beneath the sheets, but she has never really gone around the house to go and start shouting like a headless chicken. Oh, and Daniela has been having sex with Khalid in this house. She has never done that. She has kept your secret safe. You have a deflection, or is it a defection, or what do they call it? You stutter when you speak, and that is one of your biggest insecurities in that house. But guess what? Amaka has never used it against you. So now she's trying to rewrite a negative narrative about her coming from Modela, and you are sitting over there and you're laughing at her, making it look as if you are more perfect. How dare you? The audacity. Another way to describe what Bryann and Daniela were doing to Amaka while she was having that, back and forth with Modela is goading. There's no two ways about it. They were deliberately goading Amaka and provoking her in the process. But Amaka was not giving her energy to them. Instead, she was busy arguing back and forth with Modela. And before we knew it, Bryann started making side comments like, oh, this girl lacks emotional intelligence. This girl lacks emotional intelligence. And we know that Bryann, for someone that always tries to sound very smart, when he has nothing reasonable to say, or when he doesn't really have an argument, he always comes with the angle of, oh, whoever is in a situation that he does not like, that person does not have emotional intelligence. He brought the same light to Beauty. He brought the same light to Ilebaye. And now he's bringing the same light to Amaka. And guys, it's quite disgusting. Oh, he even brought the same light to Fina. And Fina put him in his place. So, in my opinion, it's really disgusting. And it's really annoying because Bryann constantly saying that, oh, the ladies in level 2 lack emotional intelligence. It's really disgusting. It's a very, very disgusting and petty behavior because for someone that thinks he's the smartest and the most mature of them all, when it comes to issues that require him to step up as a man, you see him crawling back into the crowd like a child. You see him crawling back like a coward. I was looking at Bryann, I'm thinking, Bryann, where was this energy in the morning when Shegs was attacking everybody in the house about food? Where was this energy in the morning when Shegs was attacking you level 2 housemates, dragging your rightful, your entitled wager supplies with you? Where was this energy? You were there, but you could not say shit. And then you ran into the bedroom, and then Cheesy was basically making a case, and then you were licking ass. Acting like, oh, you don't want trouble. Why? Because you were licking Shegs. So where was that energy, guys? That was basically what I was just asking. Where was that energy, Bryann? I mean, Amaka kept on telling him to stop using that line of thought for her. But he kept on saying it, and that was when Amaka flared up. And before we knew it, both of them started going at each other really hard. The altercation was insane. It was intense. They were insulting each other to the point that Bryann was standing up in a very, very threatening manner, advancing at Amaka as though he wanted to hit Amaka or something. And I love the fact that Amaka stood her ground. He kept on calling Amaka dumb. Amaka kept on reciprocating the energy that you are the one that's dumb. And Bryann kept on acting like he's the victim, like, oh, you're calling me dumb, oh, Big Brother, it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. All of us were in the same house. This girl does not know who she's talking, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? And all of that altercation was going on. Daniela was supporting Bryann, of course, because Bryann is her friend. You know, they even brought up the whole alcohol situation between Daniela and Amaka. And I was really disappointed because Amaka already apologized for it. At this point, I can't even remember who even brought up the conversation. But Daniela was still arguing over it. And Amaka was like, but I actually apologized to you about it. We resolved our differences over it. But these people kept on going back and forth. And Bryann kept on insulting Amaka, dragging her, calling her names, even going as far as saying that, oh, there are some things I'm going to tell you and you're going to cry. And I love the fact that Amaka challenged him to it, like, bro, go ahead and say it. But he could not. And then he started acting childish and petty. Guys, see, to be very frank with you, I'm going to say what I have to. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Guys, it was a very, very messy situation. And I was also very upset at Amaka because I felt like Amaka was doing too much shalaye. She was doing too much explanation. And it was very obvious that the Bella, in fact, that was busy forming the judge, Bella was the one asking the questions. Oh, why did you not apologize? Oh, why did you behave like this? Why did you react like that? I'm like, this Bella self. Bella has a very, very stinking attitude. She has a very, very nasty attitude. She's rude. She's very, very uncouth. So who put her in the right position to be asking questions? And it was really annoying that Amaka could not really see the mind games that was going on there. And I was really expecting Amaka to move away from that room, go to her room and sleep. Because the truth is, that was not her room. Yes, it was very obvious that everybody sitting down right there, they were being judgmental of her. And I'm not saying that Amaka is a saint, no. But I just felt like nobody in that room had a right to judge Amaka harshly the way they did. And the fact that our fellow level 2 housemates, or the previous level 2 housemates, you know, joined forces with the level 1 housemates, what's their name, Chomzi, Bella, and Doyin, I was really disgusted. Doyin was trying so hard as usual to sound reasonable, but I'm sorry to say, at that point in time, I did not feel like Doyin was actually sounding reasonable at all, because it felt like she was actually gravitating towards Bryan's camp, instead of staying neutral and not taking anybody's side. But you know what? In the midst of all of that argument, all of that heated argument, all of that heated altercation, guys, one thing I could really see, and I wish other people saw it as well, I could see through all of that act. I could see through the fact that, yes, these level 2 housemates, they just myopically sold themselves to the level 1 housemate for nomination and for probably provocation. Now, Bryann, Modella, Daniela, in their minds, they feel like, oh, Shegs has got my back, Bella has got my back, Doyin has got my back. But what I don't understand is, oh, they think they are actually selling out Amaka's negativity, Amaka's toxicity to them. They don't know that they too, they've ended up selling their own selves to those people as well. I mean, it was quite interesting to watch. And this is what happens when you think you are too smart. In Biggie's house, it's a game at the end of the day. Nobody's got anybody's back. Nobody. Even Shegs and Bella, the way they are like that, Shegs always telling Bella, I'll give you the world. See, if push comes to shove, if it happens, and I'm not saying it will, I'm not saying I know that it's going to happen, but if it happens that they present that 100 million now to Shegs and say, Shegs, give this 100 million to Bella, do you in your church mind, do you really think that Shegs is going to give that money to Bella? Guys, if you think so, please, with your full chest, let me know in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, in the early hours of this morning, via that altercation, Daniela really portrayed herself in a very, very negative light to me. She came off as a bully to me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, to be very honest. Yeah, she came off as a bully to me. Yeah, talking about, oh, I learned to understand you. No, she wasn't learning to understand Amaka one bit. And they were all lying, to be honest, because the way she approached Amaka about that Bailey's drink the night it happened, she was rude. She came off as bullish. She was rude. She came off as very, very controlling. But the fact that Amaka is already that one person that easily gets upset, they've already tagged her as an angry bird in the house. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this video right here because if I continue talking, I'm going to drag Bryann by the balls. Already, his fans, they're already coming at me on Twitter, but I don't care. Let's call a spade a spade. The truth, the fact, as we've seen on the show, it has to be said. Bryann was wrong this time. Bryann acted like a coward. He acted really petty. He acted like a child. Talking about emotional intelligence, Bryann lacks it, and he needs to learn comprehensive human communication. You want to tell Amaka, oh, that Amaka, this is the right way to do things. You don't go about it that way by calling her dumb. That's wrong on all levels. And Modella needs to get a grip on herself and understand that, hey, she's a fake housemate. She should stop desperately trying to be a real housemate and play her assignment, play her mission for once. If it's too hectic for her, she should just go home. Guys, there's still more gist that happened right after the pool party. I'm going to be bringing you guys all of those details soon on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. For now, please just go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.